All right, what is up, guys? It is day 174, I think, of or 76. I'm not sure. I'm not good at counting, but we're gonna do some arms today. And I've had just these past 2 days I didn't film because I wanted to kind of get a refresh on what I'm doing and concentrate more on the workout. Now that I feel, I guess, a bit more refreshed and ready to go, we'll do some arms, delts, biceps, triceps. You guys know the deal. Let's get to it. All right, let's get to 60s. I've always done these to failure in the sense that I just can't lift it upward anymore. But in this set, I didn't really do that. I mean, I think I should. Because despite, even though it's unlikely, it is good to always really push yourself on that last moment. Because you never know. It's a very unlikely chance, but there's a chance still. It's like going right at the edge. I just had an idea because it's part of the reason why, as you go heavier, you do it on the Smith. That way you have more control when it falls down. But I could balance it out with my butt against the wall. That was the best set. I was dropping too much. That's the other thing. You don't want to drop it coming down here because you're not putting as much tension on your delt. You're just dropping it and you're not holding anything doing that. Yeah, because I mean, if you're dropping, really the main tension would be when you're bringing the weight upward. But the fact of controlling the weight when it comes down continues that tension. see? Way less reps, but more activation. Alright, let's do the supersets. I like to do these looking at a mirror. It helps me to be more visual. Next set, I'll increase it by a 2.5. So we're doing 4. Based upon the feel. I'm not at my best right now. So you have to measure yourself. I'm gonna exchange the 25 to 27.5. feel like with these, it's sometimes a mix. You don't have to be, at least for me, this might hurt. I don't know if this will apply for you, but I feel like this is a mix where you can control but also somewhat swing, get the activation. I mean, if you try to control it more, I don't feel it as much, at least for me. And for me, I'm all based upon feeling. Okay, the 30's free. Let's do the 30s. That was the third set. I love doing these because there's sometimes a moment where I'm doing those hammer races, and when I get laser focused, I get such a huge pop. That's what I said before, like, these two combinations are great because you're doing these, they're heavier, they're breaking fibers. The second thing is putting blood. So you're breaking blood, breaking blood, breaking blood. I think it's a pretty good combination. Even if I'm not at my strongest right now, I feel like I'm abusing the delt. Literally. You can also tell based on how much I'm sweating that my strength is not at its most. So it's requiring more energy. I would move to the inclines, but I don't see any available. We'll just see them standing then. my rear needs to be improved, because I have this part, but I need to get more of this. And I will tell you that I think 80% of anyone who goes to the gym and they focus on delt, they'll get this. But rarely, that's 20 rear. It's rare. It is rare to see someone with a rear delt, a well-developed one. Everyone talks about upper chest, but not much people talk about rear delts. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the more still you are, the better. Less swinging, especially with these. I can feel it without the weights. Let's move on to biceps. All right, this is the weirdest angle I've ever done. But let's try it. Need to get in the, yeah, because once we do these, it's not the like, all bridges are burned in the midst. Because I always go to failure with these. This is gonna feel pretty interesting, especially because last night, because my mom's a massage therapist, she gave me a sports massage, and when I woke up in the morning, My right bicep felt so sore when I stretched it out. So I am pretty curious how my biceps are gonna be after I'm done with these. Just have Kratos playing in the background. That's good. Whenever I do these dumbbell curls, it's always like if I'm trying to squeeze the juice out of an orange as much as I can. Especially as time goes on, because your body gets used to doing kind of the same workout. But that doesn't necessarily imply that, you know, you have to absolutely change the workout, which is what everyone mistakes. You have to just do a bit of a variation. If you find something that works well for you, you shouldn't change it. But for me, I have to go really back to the basic foundation of trying to get the most squeeze coming up, whether it's here. That's why in between sets I kind of do it without weights to kind of connect more to the next set. Because if I just do this, you can grow and stuff, but you're not gonna maximize as much as you want to by just thoughtlessly doing that. Kind of interesting how I've gotten, I will be honest, I have gotten a little weaker with the reps. I don't know if that's because ever since I started lowering the sets and increasing the weight, that's caused less resistance and pump for my arms. Because now again, I am not good when it comes to counting, so I could tell you like, oh no, I used to do 17.5 with like 15 reps, so maybe I did like 13. What I do know though for sure is that I have done more reps with a 17.5 and 20, and now it's like a bit of a struggle in the sense to push it up for strength wise, because when I did these like 2 months ago, I would push them up, but I would feel such a big pump on my arms, like my biceps. I think it's an adaptation, so I need to connect better then. That's what it is, that happens. Now, if it has to do with connection, I will keep the same way. Why bother with fiddling with the... I think that was better. Yeah, and I didn't held them together. Because the thing was that I think when I first did these, for the first couple months, I was not touching the dumbbells towards the, I guess you call that the negative. But in coming up, I still would have not touched it. But then once I was like in the 13th, 14th rep, let's say 5 reps that I couldn't really do it, I would have both the dumbbells sticking forward. And because your biceps already fatigued, even holding them together, pushing up, you're putting more blood. That's my intuition. I think that's what was going on there. You know, it's stuff that you guys never see because I just started filming this bulk not long ago at all. Yeah, better. Having that twist variation helps, which is why I do this. I'm getting ahead of myself. 15. I was about to go to grab a 20 for these. Oh, yeah, we're supersetting. I don't know why I forgot about that. Loosen it up a bit makes it harder. That's a good thing. We'll do this for now on. I need to count too. I don't even know how many I did there. I'm so based on the feel, I always forget to count.
I can feel it's like the most I've ever felt. Sweating like crazy. I want to do the I have my foot. Well, not technically. I'll be 345, I'll be fine. I might just come back. Yeah. Bro, are you done or not? Okay. He's giving me back to work.
Once it's in the heavyweight territory for concentration, since a lot of what I do is just kind of partials.
Yeah.
Actually, obviously, I try to do fulls, but goddamn. All right, one set. Like, even though I did that in the last one, but it's as I said, I do feel that I'm pushing, but this, like, look, this has a lot to do with the range of motion, what I'm doing here. Yeah, it's as I said, I think I do need to apply more, just a little more variation and range of motion. Because I could just tell, I know how my, but what I will say is, yeah, I think that massage did, like visually, I think I see my biceps a bit longer. You guys should get a sports massage, that's what it does. I haven't even done triceps yet. Good shit. All right, let's do kickbacks. Oh man, best thing you can do, man, for your whatever muscle you're doing. I don't care whether you're doing quads, biceps, triceps, chest. I don't give a shit. If you do something that's the hardest in that workout, you will maximize those gains, without a doubt. That goes with anything too in your life. If you learn to do the hardest things that people don't want to do, including some sort of workout where not many people do, like squats, you have bigger legs than them. Do a variation of biceps, you have bigger biceps. gonna abuse the hell out of our triceps today. More than our biceps. Feels amazing. Arnold said it too, but if you guys know Marcus Roll, the German bodybuilder from the 90s, so honestly he has the biggest mass out of any bodybuilder I've ever seen. He said, you know, the pump, it's like an orgasm. It really is. Maybe that's why we've been talking with Al. Maybe that's why I like it too. I like the feeling of the pain, and afterwards it just gets bigger. But I heard that when you're cutting, especially a few weeks out of the show, your pump, you don't get a pump. So it's like having sex without an orgasm. That's what I heard from Marcus. Funny because what I'm saying can be taken out of context so easily. I think the 20's here just in case, but I'll increase it. Let's do, oh yeah, let's do skull crushers. Oh, I have a better idea with these. Although, no, we'll do it though. I think of putting you guys in front, but I think by accident I hit the tripod with this thing. like they're very exhausted a bit from the kickbacks. I think that's a thing people do, that like they go to failure on the first. At first, they go to failure on the first set, first to 2 sets, and because they think that, I mean, they don't have as much energy to get to the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, etc. And so they intentionally don't go to failure on the first set, and that's not what you should do. Well, I mean, in the first workout, you're leaving gains on the table by doing that. It's different from being smart and constructively doing it, but unintentionally not effectively going to failure on every workout is just nonsense. You have to go to failure every workout. If you want massive, yeah. Now, if you're doing something like Jay Cutler where he was doing 8 sets, that's a different story, because you're constructively intensity, but I just like to keep it simple. Okay, so that was a 50. I think it gets to 60. Yeah, let's do 60. You know what I'm listening to right now? I mean, if you guys are familiar with God of War, you may like her, but you may not. So go on Spotify and search up Zeus, Your Son Has Returned. I've been playing that now for like an hour and a half. I'm tired of it. Is that like 5 reps? Let me get a 50. At least to complete those reps. I think we'll catch the 60 later, some other day. It's just for me, you know, when I do skull crushers, I get better activation when I'm way more controlled. I'm noticing that a lot with my body. I'm not, it's hard to explain. Like a big pusher, I have to be a lot more controlled. I think it also has to do because of the way how I started working out. I started with light weights and just pure muscle to my connection till beyond failure. So I've adopted that. All right, try some pull downs. Favorite. Let's get to it. I don't think this is such a bad angle too, because I'll get to really see my tricep. You know, for me, when I do these too heavy, my shoulders and traps get a little in play. Not in terms that like I feel it way more in my shoulders, just they're like locked in. So I feel that from the heavier weight kind of offsets the activation. It's good to keep in mind. You have to be smart in bodybuilding, that's the thing. You can't be cocky or egotistical. You have to understand what the hell you're doing with your muscle. If you can't lift without feeling the muscle completely on the first, 2, 3rd, 4th, no matter what rep you're in, then tone it down and feel it. You build strength, look, you're not power building. You're not power lifting. You'll just build your strength gradually. Damn, this water tastes like shit. I got the water from the fountain. It tastes bad. I'm not drinking that. Oh, damn. All right, that's it for the arm day. Let's pose down. Let's see how the results were. All right, let me do the pose down here. I couldn't really do it in there because my phone died. And you know, it is funny because I actually did I did pose in this exact spot like a month ago, and the sun is just gives the perfect shadows or whatever you want to call it. All right, let me put this here. So I mean, I just did arms, but I do want to see the overlook of how this is. Let's do, I think, I mean, just a tricep pose. I don't know the name of this though. And it's funny because I saw, the first time I saw this tricep pose was from the 1980 Mr. Olympia, when you had Danny Padilla, Franco Colombo, Tom Platz. Yeah, those guys. I just saw them do this pose and I thought it was cool. And later I noticed that's like the main tricep pose. Let me get a back shot. So it is interesting to see how I noticed that I mean, there are like slight altercations. I tend to be very analytical with this stuff, but it's weird because it's analytical, but I tend to simplify a lot of the things. I think that's why. I tend to be analytical, so I just, instead of going beyond that, I just simplify things. One last, even though I'm wearing pajamas or whatever the hell this is, long pants. Let's see, because usually the modern day they have the quads and hamstrings. I don't even know. Let me see. I should go here actually. Once in the cut, we'll do some fancy stuff in the poses, you know, the typical this, but obviously there's a belly here. Gotta get those calories in. Speaking of calories, I'm gonna go back and eat. But yeah, not bad. I did have a, let's say, a better activation for triceps. Let me put my shirt on so I don't cook myself. Especially in Texas. I checked the weather right now and it's like 100 degrees. God damn. You know, especially because I've only lived here for like a year, and I mean, the heat. I'm not new to the heat. I was born in heat. I was born in Florida, close to Miami, and that shit's hot as hell, man. And I lived in California, which is also, it's not as hot as Florida, but it is warm. It's very windy. It's a nice weather. But here, I don't think it's comparable to Florida, but it's still hot as hell. Anyways, triceps. I got a better pump with triceps, I would say, than the biceps. even though I did, but I just know how much my muscles can enlarge themselves to the others. And I think tricep today were on point. Biceps were they need more work. And I feel that I need to apply either two things. This is the least likely scenario in my head. Having a person help me with the reps, which does help, of course that helps, because you're able to go to failure longer, and so you're breaking more fibers. But when I was doing these, I felt them, but it's what happened today was more from strength. And I didn't feel so exhausted. So it was kind of a combination between, I was feeling hypertrophy, but my energy levels were a bit down. And that could be due to, honestly, I think it's the massage that I had last night. That my muscles are likely still recovering after these past several days of just working out hard. And for the delts, I think it's the same story with the delts. Since, well, in delts I've always done these sort of things, and then supersets with these. This is what I feel builds the side delt, but I think for the rear, my phone keeps dying, so I'm just gonna say it here. My goal is really to create mass, a lot of mass in my body. I don't have any extreme high goals at my moment. I kind of have a generic basic goal that I think several, gym goers want to do, which I just want to have a 20-inch biceps. I want to have wider lats. I want to have bigger delts. I want to have bigger quads, bigger hamstrings, that sort of stuff. And yeah, I just want to accumulate more mass, and that takes years. So from there, my goals will change, and I could have quite a bit of a different goal maybe in the next 3 years. But as of right now, I'm really just looking to grow. I'm just the same as anyone, looking to get big. And so it is important for me to bulk and keep the bulking and, have some cuts to see the results of the bulk. But I do have to be consistent with my calories. And yeah, and come to think back, because it is the future me that is talking. I was talking about the rear delts about a minute ago, and I think I was going to mention that I could do an exercise that would basically do a side machine delt raise. Maybe that sort of phrasing doesn't make sense, but there is a machine that locks your entire arms, and if you swing your arms sideways upward, it does activate the overall delt, but I think it activates also the rear. I have seen cable pulls where you use a cable and you pull it in with a rope, and that activates the rear delt as well if you kind of do a different variation of it. I will show it. Rear delts are for me very important because it gives more of an 3D shape look to your upper body physique. And if you're really looking to do the most muscular poses, you do have to have good traps, good delts, good biceps, good triceps, good forearms. That's what really highlights those poses. If you're doing like a delt pose, it's like a pose where you hold your arms and you flex. You guys seen me do that a lot of the times. That's a delt pose, where you're kind of like standing and you cross your arms together below. You hold your hand against the other hand, and it pops out the delt. The other thing too, mostly, is that if you have a rear delt, when you do a rear double bicep, that rear delt will pop out even more. And so yeah, there's many different reasons, especially when you do a lat spread, that rear delt is also popping out. These little things are crucial, and yeah, I really just want to, because this has to come back to what my goal is. I just want to make everything bigger. I'm not a person that just wants to make my arms bigger and I don't have much regard towards any other parts of my body. That's not the case. I'm really looking to increase each muscle that I have proportionally to the other. So if I have a big chest, a big arms, I have to have big legs. I will not be content with not having big legs if I have a big upper body. Naturally, genetically, I have traps and biceps and that sort of stuff, but it is a hassle for me to get bigger legs, and so it requires more finesse in leg days and a lot more attention focus when I do squats and hack squats and leg extensions. That's why having a training partner helps. But yeah, that's the overall gist of it, guys. Hope you enjoy the video. I really would love to have these videos be way more shorter because they're more than 50 minutes long, and I know it's kind of like hard to watch that long, and so I really want to try my best to lower the amount of time that the whole video is, regardless if it's an arm day or a chest day or a back day. They should all be relatively much less than 50 or 40 minutes. Yeah, that's it for it, guys. Each day that comes by, we're trying to get bigger, and most importantly, try to be a bit more smarter, you know. Learn from your mistakes, and if you do that, I mean, there's no way to go but up. And if you're always trying to improve yourself, always trying to compare yourself to your own self, you will always be on top and a champion, because you will always work hard. And I feel that to me is the big principle of why I do what I do. I don't label myself to compare to another bodybuilder. I really just try every single day to be much bigger than what I was yesterday, and I try to do whatever it takes to get there, in the gym, in my house, eating, and I think, in my opinion, that's how it should be. And so, yeah, to make this video not longer, I'm gonna leave it to that. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Core needs to be a bit better on the last 5. I was sort of pressing it there. And that's not ideal.